Yes, good morning, children. How are you all? I hope that you have done the assignments very well. I had given you two questions, and you might have written it in your notebook very well. I hope so. Okay, yes. And today's topic is land resources. So I had told you about different types of resources that we have, and one of the most important resource, that is land resource. And in connection with land resource, soil also we will be discussing later. Okay, so first of all, land resource. You know that the earth is known as the blue planet. Why does it so? Because 70% of the earth's surface is covered with water. Okay, and balance 30% is available as land area. In its as dry land, actually, because we have the ocean and seabed, excluding that. Okay, dry land area, about that I'm telling you. Yes, so in its 30%, 33% is desert and 24% is mountainous region, and only just 10% of land area is used by human beings. Just imagine, just 10%. We know that all the land area is not usable, isn't it? Not usable in the sense it can be mountainous region, or desert region, plateau region. Plateau regions can be used for extracting minerals and other resources, but we cannot live there, isn't it? Yes. So when we think about our country, we have different relief features. Means the surface of the country is different. Mountains are there, plains, plateaus, islands. We have these type of different relief features. We have 43% of plain region that is used for agricultural and other industrial activities. Then these plain regions are very it is very good for constructing roads, railways, and then 30% of mountain regions. These 30% of mountain regions ensure perennial flow of rivers. Perennial means continuous flow of rivers. And these are also an important spot for tourism. Then 27% of plateau regions we have, that we use for extracting minerals, fossil fuels, and we have forest also in these plateau regions. Okay, yes. And what about the total geographical area of our country? In 9th standard you have studied the total geographical area of our country is 3.28 million square kilometer. But it's 100% we cannot use. You know that the northeastern states, that is, its surface is very much rugged because of the presence of Himalayan mountains, isn't it? Yes, so 93% of our land area is used because we have different relief features in northeastern states, except Assam. In Assam we are using terrace cultivation, and even some part of Assam is plain region. That's why we are cultivating tea and coffee there. Okay, yes. So as I told you, land is an important resource. We should live on land. It supports natural vegetation, not only as wildlife and other living things, plants and other animal species. Then our economic activities like extraction of mining, quarrying, transport, communication system, everything is going on the land. So it is very important we should preserve. As I told you, we should conserve our resources, which means we should conserve. Why should we conserve? Because something wrong is also going on there. That's the reason that I will tell you later. Here our main topic is land utilization and land use pattern in India. I have written it on the board. Okay, the same list you can see in your textbook. Okay, you should go through it. Which means then that what are the different types of land, or how do we utilize our land? Or these two headings you have in your textbook, land utilization and land use pattern in India, but I am doing it together here. Okay. So this is the general land utilization, whether it is in India or in elsewhere in India, elsewhere in our world. Okay. This is the total list. Then here, based on this, which are the different areas we have land use pattern in India? How do we use land here in our country? Okay, that is the main topic here. So first of all, land utilization. Forest, different types of land I told you. So some part of the land is forest region. Okay, so the total forest region of our country according to the 2019 report is 21.67 percentage. That is the total forest area. Yes, you know that the importance of forest, isn't it? It is important for maintaining ecological balance, and many wildlife and other plant species are living there. And above than that, see, it is a livelihood of millions of people. There are many tribal people, especially in northeastern part of our country, who are fully depending upon forest resources. Okay, so it is very important, should be protected. And see, the second type of land pattern, that is land not available for cultivation. Which means which cannot be used it for, or that area cannot be used for cultivation. Barren land, first land, barren or wasteland means uncultivable land, we are not using it, total waste. It can be because of the infertility of the soil. Then land used for buildings and other activities. It means that we have constructed buildings and other activities are going on. There can be factories and also that area cannot be used for cultivation. So land not available for cultivation, that is the second category. And third one, other uncultivated land, which includes pasture land and grazing land, which is used for just full of land with full of grass. It's a part of what, the forest region also. Okay. And another region is land with different tree crops, miscellaneous tree crops. That is the word is given in your textbook. Miscellaneous, while variety of trees are there. Okay. Yes. Then third category, cultivable wasteland. Cultivable means it is cultivable, but that area land is left uncultivated for more than 5 years. For the past 5 years we are not using it for cultivation. That is cultivable. It can be cultivated, but it is waste, we are not using it. Such land is called cultivable wasteland, which means once again, which means left uncultivated for more than 5 years. So continuously for more than 5 years we are not using it. Okay. Yes, so I hope that you understood the first three land area. First land area is forest area. Next one, land which we do not use for cultivation. Next one, other uncultivated land. It can be subdivided into these three. Pasture land, only used for grazing. Next one, some land with different trees. Then cultivable wasteland. Okay. Then the fourth one is fallow lands. Okay, fallow land means it was plowed and harvested, but now left, it is not using. Current fallow land, again this fallow land can be divided into two. Current fallow land means left uncultivated for one or less than one agricultural year. See the difference here. Cultivable wasteland is for the past 5 years we are not using, but here in the section of fallow land, the first one, current fallow land, which means left uncultivated for one or less than one agricultural year. And the second one, subsection, that is other than current fallow. This is left uncultivated for 1 to 5 agricultural years. Okay. So which means that the first 4 sections, forest area, that is the forest area, land not available for cultivation. Next one, other cultivated, uncultivated land, fallow land. All these areas we are not using for any kind of cultivation activities, but once we had used it. Which one? This fallow land. Then net zone area. Net zone area means the total cultivable area or cultivating area in a country, or gross cropped area. Okay, that is the total net zone area. Okay. So in this net zone area means that is the area or land area in which cultivation is going on, okay, in a country. So this is the total division. Do you understand? See, the net zone area, which means the cultivating land area is very high in Punjab, Haryana, Tamil Nadu states, and all that you know very well, and it varies in different states. For example, 80% of the land area of Punjab is cultivated, not only in Punjab, Haryana also, whereas just 10% of land area in Arunachal Pradesh and Mizoram is used as it has a rugged area, mountainous relief. Okay, that is the reason behind this different estimation. Yes. And next one, like that, the total plain regions that we have is used for different kind of activities. Yes, for constructing industries, factories, to set up factories, then for constructing roads and railway. For all this we use plain land regions of our country. But when we use these lands for different purposes, continuous use of land over a long period of time without taking proper measures to conserve it will be resulted in land degradation. Okay, so our next topic is land degradation. Our next topic is the land degradation, as I told you. Okay, yes. So what is land degradation? So land degradation, you have studied it already in the 8th standard when you studied about the resources. Okay, yes. So land degradation is the decline of biological or economic productivity of the land. It is mainly as a result of natural or man-made activities. But the most lands are degraded by the man-made activities. There are different types of activities done by humans. So when we overuse the land or whatever resources, it will be damaged. So deforestation, overgrazing, mining, quarrying, overuse of chemicals in the agricultural fields and all totally degrade the land resources. Okay, an example of natural activity that you know we have experience, isn't it? Flood. So the topsoil, the fertile topsoil will be washed away due to flood. If we have flood, so that is a natural what activity. So the most activities are human made activities. So we should be very careful, isn't it? We are living, we are constructed all these things on the land, we are living on the land, so we should protect it. It is our responsibility. Yes. And in the case of our country, land degradation is very high in some states of India. So that is differently I have given here. Mining is the main reason for land degradation in the states of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Odisha and Madhya Pradesh. So in the last class I had told you that these regions are having plateau regions, and these regions are very much rich with what? Resources, coal, iron and other deposits. Okay, so continuous mining activities are going on in these states. So it is degraded. So once it is mined, that land cannot be used for any other activities, isn't it? So that land is just left without using. Yes, so overgrazing is the reason for land degradation in Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh. Yes, and over irrigation is the reason for land degradation in Punjab, Haryana and Western UP. So as I told you, 80% of their land area is used for cultivation. So over irrigation. What is the result if we have given water to the land? What is the problem? Continuous water logging make the soil which see it will be leading to water logging. So water logging make the soil full of water, isn't it? The roots of the crops drown and it will become unable to breathe. They may not get oxygen to breathe, whom the roots of the crops. So this waterlogging again will be leading to the increase of salinity and alkalinity in the soil. So all these things are not good for our land. Okay. And another things are also there. We have cement and other factories in different parts of our country, especially in North India, isn't it? So in our Kerala state, we know in Udyogamandal, Ambalamugal region, Elur Udyogamandal region, we have factories. Okay. So the mineral processing like grinding of limestone, why do we use limestone? For making cement and all, isn't it? So when we use this, it's a dust will be there in the atmosphere. So it may create huge quantity of dust in the atmosphere. It retards the process of infiltration of water into the soil. Which means that water will not, if there is rain, that rain water will not be infiltrated into the soil, isn't it? It will be preventing. What will be preventing? The cement dust will be preventing the water to go deep into the soil. So that is also a reason for it. So in recent years, industrial effluents as waste have become a major source of land and water pollution in many parts of the country. So land is actually degraded mostly by whom? By the human beings. So we can solve all these problems. As we are doing it, we can also find the solution. Okay. So there are many ways to solve this problem, like afforestation. We should plant trees. Proper management of grazing can help to some extent. Means section by section land area will be used for grazing. Not the same land should not be used for grazing. Planting of shelter belts of plants. Control on overgrazing. Stabilization of sand dunes by growing thorny bushes. So in desert regions we can plant thorny bushes, so it may it may prevent the over we know that the soil will be eroded, the topsoil of the desert will be eroded and creating what? Sand dunes, isn't it? So to control in some extent we can as a shelter belt we can plant thorny bushes. Okay. Then proper management of wasteland. As I told you, how much area of wasteland we have in our country. Once it was cultivated. But what is the problem? When we cultivate it, we may use chemicals and other things in an over rate, isn't it? So again, in the next time when we use, the double amount of chemical should be used to create fertility in that same soil. So like that we are just degrading that particular land. So if we manage it properly, that waste land also can be used for cultivation or other activities. We should control mining activities. And even in industrial region, proper discharge area for wastewater, that also should be managed, isn't it? Yes. So all these things, if we just think properly, we can do something for our land. All land can be used for different activities, but it should not be overused. We should think that if we overuse, it cannot be used for future generations. So it is better that we use or we solve this problem as soon as possible. Okay, and only this much is for today. Like I hope that you understood about what is spent by land resource and what are the land utilizations, and what about the land use pattern in India, and what is meant by land degradation, and which are the different states with different types of land degradation, and some solutions also for that. Okay, thank you.